Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep. We find ourselves once again on our island, our home island. This is our house, and it may be one of the last times we see it, because next episode we're going to hop back into the map editor and probably redesign home island. But this episode I am going to be looking at a map. Someone in the comments sent, Omar, they said, "Ooh, Would you care to review my map? I'm liking you to look at it and tell me about stuff." And I'm like, I don't really review things, dude. But since it's not really going to break the narrative this time, I wouldn't normally do it because it would kind of break the narrative as we're playing through the game. But this time, this once, I'll do it. That's why we took a swim last time. It's also why I'm just keeping an eye on the clock. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to save, obviously, then we're going to sleep. And hopefully we won't get a storm tomorrow. And as the sun rises and our controls are given back to us, we find that it is, good, 6:12 in the morning. The sun is rising on another wonderful day. Yes, there are some problems with this island. Things like this sort of shelf along here. If I get the torch out, click. So there's like a shelf that runs along the edge of the island. Now we've learnt enough to know how to make an island which you can actually just land a raft on without just bumping off of it. It will mean that in between episodes I'm going to have to move a lot of stuff from one island to another, and it's going to be a pain in the butt. But I think we can do more than what we have here. I think we can expand. We can build on all the experience and knowledge that we've got. Playing Stranded Deep, but for the time being I need to check my food and water. It's not too bad, not as bad as I thought it might be. Oh, that one is actually full. Okay, we'll take some water on board, and then we will drain one of these into our clay flask. What is this thing actually called? I don't know. Oh, clay water bottle. Fine. Oh, these things are actually okay for water, which is nice. You know what we might do? Get a little snack. Yum, that's delicious. Part of your 5-a-day guava fruit. Brilliant. So we'll just check. Everything's healthy. 7 o'clock in the morning. Do a cheeky little save again because we don't really know what we're going into. I've gone and put it into the cartographer, and now what do we have? We'll get some water. We'll take some water with us. That'll be fine. We've got enough food. What we'll probably do is go over there, have a look and see what he's done, and then have a look in the cartographer, in the island map editor. It's called the map editor. I keep calling it various things. Don't ever accept a person on YouTube's word for anything. It's I think we've got everything here. Yeah. People on YouTube, people on the internet, as you may not know, aren't actually real. We're all robots. We're all like, they go beep, boop, beep. And basically, it's what happens when you give a Roomba too much autonomy. That's exactly, or when it drives down the stairs one too many times. That also can happen. I'm not entirely sure where we're going. We need to find our own old home island, because it was, what I've done is I put it on the map. I think I put it on the map where the first sea fort we went to is. On the understanding that what I can do is use that tile and put one of the mission squares there. I am not looking forward to even looking at missions. Oh, this thing's bouncing around. I forgot what it was like to have a motorized small raft. The smaller the raft is, the faster it goes, apparently. I think they actually travel at the same speed, but it's more maneuverable, so it feels faster. I think that's the way it works. So this is cool. I do remember early versions of the game, really early versions of the game, 0.12, I think, and the sea was very different to what it is now. Obviously the sea was shallower and a whole lot less scary. Oh my god, we are really just tearing along now. So that's the island we were on last episode. So that is our old home island. There's some building bits popping in, which we can kind of see the supports for, or can we? Am I just talking out of my behind? Get a little bit closer. Yeah, no, everything's kind of rendering in now. Some boxes and stuff popping around. The glare from the sun. There's lots of little things in the game that you don't really appreciate until, well, just because they work. Things like sun glare. In the evening, you get like a misty, hazy effect sometimes. It's kind of cool. So what are we looking for? Well, I'm not entirely sure. I know the island's pretty big because when I put it into the world, it looked freaking enormous. So I have a feeling there might be a little bit of a, oh my god, okay, a little bit of a tiny issue with it. But we'll see what he's done. We'll see what he's done. My raft is now... Oh yeah, that was the problem with these rafts. Blah. When you get on, you actually sit inside the motor slightly. Whoa. So there's a lot of frame drops at the moment. Yeah, no, there's a hell of a lot of frame drops. Not frame drops, hitching. That's it. Right naming, wrong description. Lag is something that happens when you are playing a game on the internet and you are talking to a server, and what the server's saying is happening and what your computer is saying is happening. Kind of slightly desynced. This thing's freaking enormous. Frame hitching is when you're looking around and you feel, I guess, like the frames drop, even though there's no real reason for the frames to be dropping. Your hardware's good or the game's good. I did hear that they are not Beam Team, not Sam and Ben, but some other people were having problems porting things over to the Nintendo Switch on the Unity engine, because the Unity engine at the moment is just not behaving like it should do. This thing is enormous. So first impressions, whoa, what's happened? First impressions, everything's just kind of vanished for a second. Okay. This is weird. We better get to land before something attacks us. Whoa, okay, so the raft is... Alright, okay, so I think what's happening is my frames are going to hell. That's what's happening. Oh, this is going to make for a fun video. Because all these physics objects are touching each other, and they have just gone mental. So that's what was happening as we were approaching the island. We've got a load of stuff on the beach. Fine. If you are making an island for yourself... What is on there? What? You just jump up here. Okay. All right. So if you're making an island for yourself, what you don't need to do is put stuff on the front of these boats, because stuff will spawn here anyway. So that's... Oh my god, my frames. Mein Gott. There's a ton of things here. Now I'm just for clarification. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff here. I'm using a Ryzen 7 1700, about 16 gigs of RAM. So I got 16 threads going on, and an NVIDIA GTX 1060 6 gig. So all the memory, but this is just a little bit too heavy to play. I think there's too many items on the island. I think that's basically what's going on. What we'll do is we'll just have a look. He's placed a lot of things down. Oh my god, yeah, every time we look over to the island. Oh, that's an interesting thing. I was convinced at one point that the game was having trouble rendering billboards. It's virtually stopped. It is virtually stopped. That is an interesting thing. I don't think it's a billboard. It might be a physics item issue. There's some stuff in here. So the lantern's not standard issue. That's fair enough. The loot crates are, and the lockers are put in. Yeah, they're all put in by the game itself. So if we look out to sea, what happens? I think we're okay. I don't see any sharks or anything. So that's... Oh god. Oh. What did I do? I think I just broke my ankles. All right, this is really quite tricky. We'll persevere for the sake of persevering. But I think, yeah, I think the same story. So there's a lot of items on the island, and the island is quite big. There's a lot of animals as well, which is going to cause, yeah. So as you approach the island, all these physics objects, if you've gone and put down a ton of physics objects, that sounds like a danger noodle. It is a danger noodle. Hey, buddy. It's a snake. All these things are going to bounce around all over the place. That's which is what looks like has happened. And then all the crabs and things. So we're just sort of sticking to the outside of the island. Hopefully I can keep some frames up. Otherwise, yeah, the beach is beachy. It looks... Let's have a look underwater. That's okay. There's some clay there. Whoa. Hey, there's a stingray. Fine. I'm glad well, I don't think stingrays actually sting you. That's a thing. Yeah, otherwise, this place is tupping massive. It is huge. There's a tree up there. We're going to have to... I don't think we can even look inland. No. I don't think we can. Right, okay. We've got an interesting little lake thing here going on, which is kind of cool. Yeah, if you make a lake, you can actually just depress the land inside your island, and you can have like little fish on the inside. I don't think you can put sharks and stuff in there because they won't like it. There we go. There's a palm frond. So another physics item. I think I already have some advice kind of forming in my mind as to what I would say about this place. We've got some rock structures here, items on top of it. Yep, it's kind of perfectly valid thing to do. Put plants on top of rocks. With these large cliffs, the top has like a soil decal on them anyway, so it's perfectly valid to do stuff like that. All right, we'll just have a look inland just to see what's going on, and it looks a lot like Jurassic Park Trespasser, a very old game from I don't know, probably the 90s. Yeah, there's a lot of loot and stuff here, and a lot of animals, and a lot of physics items. This is really tough on the old machine, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be this tough. So we've got an inlet. It's an inlet. It's good. This is kind of the thing. I probably have more of these just to break up the shoreline, because there's a lot of straight edges along here, which is fair enough. A lot of dense plants, which is nice. We do approve, and some rock structures. All right. I think we've done a bit of a once round on the island. I'm trying not to move the mouse left and right, because that's causing the old... Because moving the viewport left and right... Oh yeah, look, there's a ton more physics items. Right, okay. I think I'm getting a gist of just exactly what's going on here. And then the interior of the island's very... It's big. It's big. I think it's actually too big, if I'm going to be honest. Anything else? Rock structures, and we just got hit by a crab. So if we look out to sea, yeah, we regain a ton of frames. And now we're bleeding. That's nice. Oh my god. And then we look inland and everything dies. Everything. Oh my god, there's a snake there. Good. This has been fun. This has been fun. Not gonna lie. We have Dead X package, mysterious package, and we have a Wally, and no frames, and cliffs. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna bail, and we're gonna go and see what is done in the map editor. All right, we are now in the map editor, and our frames have returned to normal. So we're gonna go up and have a little look and see what's going on here. Well, first of all, the island is massive, absolutely massive. And with all the physics items turned off, so in this mode, physics items aren't actually going to be bouncing around all over the place, and the animals aren't going to be doing the animally thing. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff here. There's a load of stuff. In fact, if we go and have a little... hold down shift, you get the old speed racer thing. Click, click, click. Yeah, okay. So I would probably say, first of all, that there are just too many crabs, because each one of these is an AI entry, and they're very basic AI. They will sort of go around in a circle, and they'll do various bits and pieces, but they will also interact with all these physics items. And I think there's just too many physics items for the size of map. And this is very important because, as you saw, or probably could see, as we were trying to just navigate the island, without these being in something like a box or as part of a farm or a building, you are going to have a heck of a time just trying to navigate around. It's going to be kind of not that fun for you. Other things, yeah. So these oil drums on the front and the back of the boat, they don't need to be there because at least one oil drum is going to spawn on the boat. So I can't remember which end it is, but I'd certainly get rid of that. Otherwise, there's some interesting ideas going on here, like the caves. Definitely good. Having a play around with stuff like this. Nice tall caves and stuff. A few trees and bits and pieces inside. Nice. Not a problem with that. The shore is actually done quite nicely as well. So you're not going to have a problem getting a raft on here whatsoever. I like the little inlet. But then, I live in a coastal region and stuff like this is kind of normal. It's actually, I think it's more normal further up the coast, around places like Plymouth and Portsmouth and stuff like that, where you have large sort of salt flats and various bits and pieces. It's more of like a rocky coastline where I am. But this stuff is kind of very reminiscent of, home actually. Large cliff structure. What is that? Underwater. Oh, it's a wreck. I'll tell you what. We'll turn off the old water in a moment. So inland lake, fair enough. The only thing I wouldn't do with these, if you are going to put one in your map, is pop a shark in there, because the shark will just not be happy in there whatsoever. They really need to be out in the main ocean. So if you're going to put wildlife in there, I would avoid that. But fish and things will still spawn in there if it's deep enough. So that's the thing to make a note. What else have we got here? An interesting little feature on the landscape. What is this? It's this kind of weird pool, a sarlacc pit, if you will. That's a neat idea. A load of rocks around a well, almost. Yeah. Can you get out of that? I think you could probably... Yeah, as long as you don't activate the swimming animation, I think you definitely get out of there. So that's kind of cool. Always make sure if you do something like this, it's not an actual sarlacc pit. You fall in and then that's kind of game over for you. Otherwise, I mean, it's not bad. I wouldn't be too upset if this was a map that I'd made. But yeah, the technical side of things, this is obviously a map that you would make if you were saying, I just want to get a load of stuff, make a massive house. I could tear down the interior of this island and rebuild the town from Jurassic Park Trespasser. And, there's no problem with that. However, the island is suspiciously big. So we're going to turn the water off. Boop. All right. And have a look around. So that's fine. Okay. Yeah. I see a problem here. Yeah, looks like the mesh is stretched a little bit on all the sides. So you want to kind of avoid this. So making the island too big, I think, and I've only heard rumors of this because I've never actually made an island this size, but you want to avoid lifting this stuff up too far, because I don't think it's going to be a problem here, but on some maps you could end up in a situation where sharks and the like swim under the island, so they might just pop under the mesh at this point, or if you've got players, they might accidentally swim under the mesh. So if you try to stretch it out to the very limits of like the map boundary, I don't know if you can these days. We can have a little go actually with the tool. So I have a feeling we won't be able to do that. I think this is as far as it'll go, because you used to be able to build islands and then connect islands to other islands, but Let's do this. Nope, that's putting it down, raise and lower. There we go. No, you can't. So this is the very limit of what you can make. So this is about as big as an island can actually get, which is interesting. It's if it's the one thing we take home from this. It's kind of an interesting thing. So, Omar, if you are watching, it's not a bad island, but unless you are actually running this on a supercomputer that's able to do a ton of physics calculations, I would probably cut back on certain things, like probably the planks, probably the sticks, probably the crabs. I would probably just nuke a lot of the crabs, and things like the scrap metal. Things like clay, that's not a physics object, so that's fine. And the trees are probably fine as well, because you can just chop them down and actually turn them into houses and various bits and pieces. So it's yeah, I would also probably spread some stuff around, like these rocks and various bits and pieces, just so that you have to navigate around the island when you're building stuff, rather than just like lumping it in one area. But you know, that's just something I would do, and everyone else's mileage may vary. So that was a quick look at a map that I did not build. That's this one's made by Omar, and yeah. So we are going to be back in the map editor. We're going to be back next. In fact, let's go back to the main game. That feels a lot better. So we are back in our world, but because we saved it, it's now 7 o'clock in the morning again. Okay. So yeah, we're back here. We're back with our fruit trees and various bits and pieces, but we ate some fruit before we left. Okay. So there's no fruit for us to nom right now. Fine. Yeah, we are going to be back in the map editor next episode. We are going to be looking at a replacement for this island, this very island. So what I will do is, I think we'll basically do what we did before with the advanced map editor. So we will start off with a blank template, and then we'll populate it, and we'll do all the stuff. And hopefully, when we come back to this tile, we will have a whole new world to explore. Now, whether we throw a bunch of sharks in there or not, I don't know. Do we really want sharks on our home island? Maybe. I mean, it does kind of spice things up a bit. Or do we want hills, or do we want cliffs, or there's a load of stuff. I got some ideas. I have some very definite ideas that we can try. So if you're interested in that, definitely, chuck a subscribe. Chuck a like our way. Maybe even tell your friends about the channel, because that might actually help us out. And you know what? I will catch you guys next time. Bye!